In this video, we got another episode of the series where I rate and improve your guys' teams. You guys will send me your teams on Twitter at X7Tanak, and I'll give you guys my best suggestions to help improve your squad, and a rating out of 10. Could be a 6, a 7, 8, 9, or 10, whatever I do think about your squad. If you guys also want to let me know in the YouTube comment section down below, let me know your guys' team and MT amount, and I'll give you guys my best suggestion to help improve your team. But make sure you guys let me know how much MT you have, because if you don't, nothing I can really do for these suggestions. But looking at the first team here of the video, coming in from my man Noodles, he says, been a while trying to get Myteam and the Billy do. I think that's probably the statement I think everybody said in season 5 is they're trying to get Myteam and the Billy duo, me included. Like, I just cannot get either of those cards. I really want them because their duo is amazing, and just their cards itself are so good. So yeah, obviously if you can get them, they would definitely start on this lineup over Vince Carter and LeBron. But let's just say you don't have them, and looking at the suggestions, so you got about 750,000 MT, so obviously do have a lot of MT to work with. You got Yao Ming, you got LeBron, like you got a very good overall squad. Like, I like your starting lineup. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 guys you could get off the bench. I think Russ and Pippen's not a bad backcourt. Tim Thomas is still pretty good. I think for power forward, I would look to maybe go after a Giannis if you like Giannis cards, or a Jokic. I think Jokic is better than Yi, and I also think Giannis is better than Yi, and Jokic is better than Yi. So whoever you want to go with out of those two, that's who I'd get for the backup 4. Or you could just go for Dark Matter D-Rob. I try to say Pink Diamond and Dark Matter at the same time, but I go for Dark Matter D-Rob. If you want to spend a lot of your MT, I think D-Rob could be a huge upgrade over your backup center, and you can honestly get, D-Rob for a really good price. I got mine a couple days ago for 550k. I've seen him go for even lower than that now, like 475,000 MT. So if you wanted to make that big pickup and big purchase, I think he could be a really good backup center. Next team here though, coming in from Zaza, Tim Thomas has 15 Hall of Fame badges and is untouchable. I mean, obviously, yes, I know Tim Thomas is pretty much going to play in most people's lineups. Looking at this squad though, I like your 1, 2, and 3. You have really good defense and really good offense. I think you could upgrade your bench a little bit. I'm not personally the biggest fan of Joe Johnson, especially since you have 1.2 million MT. I think there definitely could be a ton of upgrades. I also forgot to rate Noodles team. I'd probably give it like a 9. I'd probably give it like a 9 to 9.5. This squad I probably give also like a 9. So we'll go Noodles as a 9.5 team, and then we'll go this squad from Zaza as being a 9. I think your centers could be upgraded a decent amount. I think AK is more of a small forward, not a power forward. So for me, I would keep your starting lineup pretty much the same for the starting center position. I think you should make that big pickup and get yourself a Dark Matter D-Rob. I know he's a lot of MT, but for 500,000 MT, he is so worth it over a guy like Marcus Gasol, and he could be your starting center for a long time. I think for your power forward position, I like Yi. I'd probably move him to the bench though, and then start Jokic. I really like the front court of Jokic and D-Rob. That's what I personally run right now, and I do think it's a really good front court. So for your power forward position, I would look to get the Galaxy Jokic. If you want to go Dirk as well, he's potentially another guy you could go with. But for me, I think your power forwards should be Jokic starting and then Yi off the bench. You can move AK over Siakam if you want to. I think Siakam is probably a little bit better than AK, so I think AK is just not going to be in the squad. For me, I also like Russ more than Drew Holiday. That obviously is a preference thing if you like Russ more than Drew. So for me, I would just put Russ at your backup point guard spot. And then for your backup shooting guard position, this is probably the biggest upgrade you're going to want to make. Obviously, T-Mac's too expensive to buy if you are going to get D-Rob. If you don't want to go after D-Rob, then you maybe could go for a T-Mac, but I'd personally get D-Rob and then just move Marcus Gasol to your backup 5. For your backup shooting guard spot though, I think you got to get yourself a Vince Carter. He's still like a top 3 shooting guard. He might be the second best auctionable shooting guard in the game because, after T-Mac, it's Pippen and Vince. So for me, I would definitely get Vince Carter at the backup shooting guard spot. A really good offensive shooting guard. He's really good at scoring the ball, going to the rim, has a great jump shot. So for me, I would get Vince Carter at the backup shooting guard spot. But overall, a very good squad from Zaza. Next team here though, coming in from Joshua, he only has 11,000 MT, but he thinks his team is pretty decent, so I'm pretty much just going to give him a rating and then maybe some couple suggestions. Overall though, rating out of 10, very decent team. I would say probably like an 8.5 or a 9. I'm really not the biggest fan of like Ralph Sampson. I think this Giannis could be upgraded, so I'd say 8.5 to 9, somewhere in that range. If you want to go really specific, maybe like an 8.8 or 8.9. Overall though, for 11,000 MT, I think Jaden McDaniels is better than Pink Diamond Giannis. I know it might seem crazy to say out loud, but you can sell Giannis for, I'm not sure how much he goes for. You can't actually sell him, but I would get JD McDaniels for about 5,000 MT or under. I think he's actually a better small forward than Pink Diamond Giannis. And if you do that, he'll give you really good defense and just a little bit more offense off that bench as well. For me, I would also try to save up for a better center. Whether you want to go Pink Diamond Marc Gasol, you want to go Pink Diamond D-Rob, I would just try to save up for one of those guys to play over Ralph Sampson. If you like Ralph, you can continue to run him. Just me personally, really not the biggest fan of the card. Also, if you do want to go after Pink Diamond Oluwaseyi, he's a decent card to get from the KG spotlights as well. Also, Wiggins could potentially play in this lineup somewhere, but I think overall you got a pretty good squad. I'd say 8.8 to 8.9 out of 10. Next squad here coming in from Will. He's only going to send in his starting lineup, so we're just going to, upgrade his starting lineup. He has 100,000 MT to spend. He's not loving Gasol recently, not sure whether to buy a new center or move Dirk there and find a power forward. So for me personally, I would keep Dirk Nowitzki at the power forward position. If you have 100,000 MT though, I think there's a couple upgrades you could make. I think at your small forward position, unless you really like Pink Diamond LeBron, which he still is a very good small forward. Me personally, I like Siakam and Rodman a little bit more than the card. Once again, that definitely comes down to preference and who you prefer. Even Jaden McDaniels, I think, is better than Pink Diamond LeBron. I think that Jaden McDaniels card, especially for his price, is so good. But if you want to keep LeBron because you're a LeBron fan like myself, or you just really like using LeBron cards, that obviously makes sense. For me, I'd probably go Jaden McDaniels or Pascal Siakam. And then for your center position, I would give Pink Diamond D-Rob a try. I know he might seem a little bit outdated in the sense that his jump shots are only on normal timing, but I still think he's a really good center, easily a top 5 center in the game, and I do think he's better than Marc Gasol. Some other guys you can maybe try out, like if you want to grind for that Oluwaseyi from the KG spotlights, he's a really good center as well. You could maybe even lock in for the Walker Kessler. Not exactly sure how much that set's going for, but for me personally, I would get Diamond Jaden McDaniels over LeBron. He's going to give you some really good offense as well and be a very solid defender. And then I would get Pink Diamond D-Rob for your starting center over Marc Gasol. But all around though, going to be a pretty good starting lineup. Next squad here coming in from, I'm not even sure how to pronounce his name, but he's got 900,000 MT and he's trying to wait for Dark Matter Cream because he's my favorite player. So we probably will be getting a Dark Matter Cream in the next couple weeks. I don't think it'll be this Friday. I think we'll probably get Wilt or Hakeem first before we get Cream, but you never know. We got D-Rob Dark Matter completely out of nowhere. So maybe we do get Dark Matter Cream this coming Friday. For your squad though, rating out of 10, I would say it's another 9.5. I'm not personally the biggest fan of this Pink Diamond Cream card. He's your favorite player, so I'm probably just going to keep him on your squad because like you said, he's your favorite player. Other than that though, like I said, probably 9 out of 10 squad. I would say you really want to upgrade your backup small forward. I don't think Dr. J is that great of a small forward. He's a very good shooting guard, but I personally, what I would do is between Pippen and Tim Thomas, decide who you think is the better small forward. For me, I think Tim Thomas is probably, actually I would start Pippen. So I would start Pippen and then move Tim Thomas to the bench. Your two small forwards are going to be Scottie Pippen and Tim Thomas. And then for your shooting guard, I would get that Galaxy Vince Carter. You can definitely afford him with 900,000 MT, and I think he's a very good option to run next to a guy like Harden. Or you could swap him, have Ray Allen starting, and then put Vince Carter on the bench. I'm not exactly sure what I would do there between start Ray Allen or start Vince Carter, but I think your two shooting guards should be Vince and Ray, and then your two small forwards should be Pippen and Tim Thomas. After that, you can maybe look to get a Jokic over Yee, but there's not too big of an upgrade there. You can maybe play Drew Holiday over Russ if you want a little bit more defense off the bench. So a couple of things you can do there, but I would definitely move Pippen to your small forward spot and get a guy like Galaxy Vince. If you want to go crazy and maybe upgrade your Pink Diamond D-Rob to a Dark Matter, you do have the funds to do so, but you probably just want to wait for Cream. So I think that's kind of like a more of a budget option, more of a cheaper option you can do to improve your squad. But next team here coming in from Nope, he's got 600,000 MT, and I would say an okay squad. If you have 600,000 MT, there is a lot of upgrades to be made with this squad. I would just say flat out rating out of 10 is probably like a 6. It's just not a great team in my opinion. Your bench is definitely really weak. You have some good players like Paul George, Tatum solid, Gasol solid, but I'm just going to give you a whole new upgrade for your squad. So point guards, I would sell Dame, and if you can sell Jaden Ivey, I would do so. I'm not sure if you locked in the set, but I would just get rid of those two cards. I think honestly Denny is such a good pickup for his price tag. I think he's only around 30,000 MT. I could be wrong, but definitely get him for your starting point guard position. If you really like using Dame cards, you could honestly go for his moments card in the token market, only 250 tokens. So I'm assuming you like Dame cards, so we'll just say put Dame on the bench. I was about to say, I thought he was your profile picture, but that's LeBron. So your point guards could be Denny and Dame, the moments one. I would sell this one. I think the moments one is just a little bit better. For your 2 shooting guards, I would definitely try to upgrade Zach LaVine and Kevin Huerter. I think 2 solid guys, once again, Vince Carter could be on the table, but if you want to go even cheaper than that, I think Terry Dischinger is a really good 2 guard, but I'd probably go Terry and Vince as your 2 shooting guards. Your 2 small forwards, you could keep Paul George and Tatum if you wanted to, but I think honestly Pascal Siakam and Jaden McDaniels are better than both these guys. So if you sell Tatum and sell Paul George, and then you pick up Jaden McDaniels and Pascal Siakam, you're actually going to be saving a decent amount of MT. So that's what I would do personally for your small forward position. For your power forwards, I think there's a couple things you could do. I would get Jokic, and then you could go Dirk or Jokic and Bob. Those are the 2 power forwards I personally go for. And then for your center position, I would just move Marc Gasol to the backup 5 and get D-Rob, the pink diamond, at the starting center position. If you do those suggestions, in my opinion, those upgrades, I think this team instantly becomes like an 8.5 out of 10 and a very good squad, because right now team's not very good in my opinion. I would make those upgrades. In my opinion, those are the best upgrades you can make, and overall your squad's going to be really elite after that. Next squad here coming in though from Enzo, he's got about 350,000 MT, and then Pip, Chet, Ricky are all non-auctionable. So a couple of non-auctionable cards, but overall pretty good team. He's got that Mike Bantam, who we all know is one of the best cards in the game and one of the most rare cards as well. I would say started lineup is pretty decent. You can pretty much keep that the same. Bench, I would try to upgrade your backup 2, your backup 4, and maybe even your backup center as well. If you really like Chet and he's not auctionable, you can move him to the backup power forward spot. I would get a better backup center. I would probably get D-Rob and then move Kareem to the backup 5. And then for your shooting guard position, once again, it could be a Ray Allen, it could be a Terry Dischinger. I think both those guys are really good options. Maybe even grind for Alex English. He could definitely play on this lineup as well, but overall pretty good squad. I'd say like an 8.5 before the suggestions, but after the suggestions, probably team goes up to a 9 out of 10. But overall a very good looking squad. Next squad though here coming in from Martin, or actually the last squad here of the video coming in from Martin. He's on next gen and has 650,000 MT. Another pretty good squad. I think your small forwards are good with Tim Thomas and Siakam. I think your center maybe could be upgraded once again to a pink diamond D-Rob. I just think he's so good for his price tag. Yes, he's not his dark matter version, but he's still so good for only about 50,000 MT. So your 2 centers can be D-Rob and Marc Gasol. Your power forwards can be Bob Nedelecki and Karl Malone. You can maybe look to get a Jokic, maybe look to get a guy like Dirk. Small forwards, like I said, are good. Shooting guards, I'd probably get Vince Carter, Terry Dischinger over Kazi Russell. And then for your point guard position, I would maybe look to get a pink diamond or a Opal Magic, Opal Ben Simmons, maybe even a guy like Harden. I think Harden could actually be a really good guy, a really good point guard to run next to Scottie Pippen and Siakam, who are definitely defensive orientated, and then Harden can definitely run your offense. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of the I Rate and Improve Your Team series. But let me know in the comment section down below, like I said earlier, let me know your guys' team and MT amount, and I'll give you guys my best suggestions. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.